Hello, beautiful. Welcome to the new season, the new episode of the Love Goddess Method podcast with me, your host, Katja Melton. And I hope so much. I took a break from recording the podcast and I realized how it was not exactly fitting where I was heading. It was so to say, basic. And I realized I did not have more conversation to have with you women, with my community, with um, women who are here not to just, pay bills and die, but to play full out, live big, have a game to life, not settle for baby money or baby life or anything that is little because we love goddesses here. We are meant for so much more. We are sexy. We sexy business women. We are full of life and passion. And I know you are not here to tune into my podcast simply because, oh, that's another conversation on another subject that's been overdone so many times. You are here because you want to run your business in a sexy way that is connected to your sense of passion, to your sense of adventure, to your sense of breaking those glass ceilings that somebody, not us, we just decided to believe into that story. Somebody has put on to us as limitations, and we just decided to believe in. And no, 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 no. That is not how we are doing life here. That is not how we are doing business here. We are here to have fun. We are here to make money. We are here to live full out. We are here to shine bright, shine so bright that it makes other women uncomfortable. And guess what happens when you shine so bright? Yes, it makes some women uncomfortable, but also it's about you vibing at the frequency of attracting your own tribe into your life. The women that need to be in your life, they will come because you did not minimize yourself. You did not water yourself down. You said what you wanted to say. You fully self expressed. You did not betray your own sense of truth and authenticity. And you are here living life fully, expressing yourself to the fullest, and having so much fun. Having so much fun. And today's conversation. Today's conversation. So, as I was tuning into the frequency of what is this new era of Love Goddess Method podcast, I, I, I've outgrown the sexuality subject. I still love it so much, but it is not all that I want to talk about. And I've been actually staying away on purpose, partly because coaches told me so, partly because my business was primarily within the boudoir photo studio and Love Goddess coaching community. And also partly because I felt that who am I to talk about this other subject that I'm so passionate about? Who am I? I'm just a little girl from Russia, Siberia, Russia, who came to United States at 19, who built herself up, who started her business, and who am I to talk about money? And money is all I want to talk about. Not just money, but money as it relates to the improvement and up leveling of our own lives. That plays into our sexuality, that plays into our ability to go and do fun things. Nobody canceled out the sexuality, but how do we speak and combine about how do we speak about money and sexuality in the same sentence? So when I sat down to ask myself a question, so where do we go from here? Because I really am passionate about business, and here I am starting the business coaching program, and also I am here with all the love goddesses that audience have been growing over the past 14 years. So how do I start talking about money and power and everything that comes with money and power? And so as I was contemplating about my new stage in life and business and how I'm showing up in life and business. And also, how do I combine those two passions of mine into one? I reflect on my own journey in a way that this was my story. This was my story and my own uprising, my own independence was only possible when I started earning my own money and I was not depending on my job. I was not depending on my husband to provide for me. I finally fulfilled my search for inner freedom and adventure and aliveness and passion. And I would be cheating on you if I don't talk about this and say I am successful in the same sentence. I would be cheating. I am successful because I was able to self express in my passion, in my sexuality, in my mission, and because I was able to finally get my momentum in business and get it going and started making money and turning it around and bringing me up. And the more money I was making, the more fun the life was. I was able to travel. I was able to experience life. I was able to outsource and delegate. That opened up the time for me. It opened up the time for me to hire employees who did things for me. That had opened up the time for me to, you know, take a simpler, faster approach, to pay for shortcuts with other coaches. It has opened up so many possibilities for me. I cannot not talk about money when I talk about success in life and wholesome living. But the way I make money is that orgasmic, passionate, dreamy vibes that I am here to live. Like, it does not cancel out the sex or sexuality. And so think about how at age 19, let's go back to age 14, having Kundalini awakening, age 14, rebelling against the family, going to finishing high school, going to my Kundalini awakening has lasted a year and a half, and then I shut down. It was the most bizarre thing, but ever since then, I was searching for that missing piece, like for that bliss, for that high, for that purity of heart and mind. And it has taken me into the rebellious stage. And over time, I have developed that darkness to me, right? When I went to United States, I had heartbreaking story when I fell in love with someone, and he cheated on me, who promised to wait for me, and he cheated on me with a Russian girl literally a month since I left. My visa expired in October, and I was having all the reasons to come back in May, right? And I come back at the end of May, and he disappears, and I discover he married. Oh, I was mad. Oh, that has awoken something in me I have not. That has awoken the dark feminine, the rage, the anger. I wanted to revenge, right? I wanted to be a player, right? And so I met my husband very soon after that, and I did not get to fully play out the dominant woman, the rebellious one, the femme fatale. But it has always stayed in me. And so as I was evolving in my own sexuality, and as I started doing work around sexuality, started doing boudoir photography, women would be coming to me and sharing their heart, their stories, their tribulations, their heartbreaks, their divorces, and that they're reclaiming themselves through a boudoir session. Not only the coach in me was awoken back, but also my level of sexuality has grown to what I call the power state, right? I wanted to explore powerful side to sexuality. But as I was growing, I was still figuring out how to, and it never worked for me. Um, you know, we just had an event at the Love Goddess studio, right? And we had a financial planner. Nothing wrong with financial planners, but it was about cutting and budgeting, and I wanted to throw up. Like, that is not the kind of money I'm talking about. The only reason I was successful in making more money because I have tied to expansion, to what I can do with money, to how can I make more? How can I sell more, right? Who can I help? The people that I can help with my services. And it was tied to expansion, not constriction. Constricted people stay poor. That's why they're poor, because they're living in constricting energy. Expanded people evolve and become more and help more and serve more and deliver more value to the world. And I learned to be excited about money, not the financial planner, I got a budget and there's this energy of, I can't, right? Like, I can't even make it. Like, what's the fun to living, right? Like, that's not what I'm talking. And so it has tied to my inner sense of passion, and that what motivated me is my vision for bigger life and up leveling my lifestyle and developing bigger habits and traveling more. Traveling was my biggest up level element. I wanted to travel. I wanted to be more free. I wanted to delegate because I was so connected to that dream, that desire. It has come about. It has come about, right? But then I plateaued because I have lost the game of up leveling. Meaning I did not grow my desires. I've reached what I wanted and I was comfortable and I was okay with that. And I realized not only my income plateaued, I plateaued. And I was not excited anymore about life because what something that used to be a dream at some point became my normal day, right? So all of that to say is I have evolved into talking about life, passion, sexuality as I am talking about money, sex, and power. Money, sex, and power. Three of the taboo subjects. Three of the taboo subjects that everyone is staying away talking. Okay, money, sex, and power are the most fun things you have in life. And why would you even not talk about this? I know you're thinking about it every day, every hour. I know you're looking at your bank account, at your wallet, you're buying something probably every hour of the day. You're putting gas in your car, right? You buying yourself coffee, you buying food for the family, you're paying the electric bill, like whatever that is. Like you are thinking about it, but it's so taboo to talk about, right? No, it is not a podcast on financial literacy. No, it is not a podcast how you can go to sex clubs, right? Like, but it all combines, right? Like, I talk about all of these subjects that are fun to me, but also that are fitting into one big theme that I have decided that I am going to explore. And the theme is being too much. Being too much. What is being too much? Being too much for a lot of people is scary. For a lot of people, being too much means, what if they don't like me? What if I shine too bright? What if I am standing out so much that I develop haters already judging you? What being too much for me means being authentic to me and shining so bright and self expressing so bright and giving myself permission to have sex, to have money, and be excited about it and openly talk about it, not be shut down by my own ego or another person, not be told, oh, you're making me uncomfortable, or you shouldn't probably talk about this because it is anti-social or anti-political or anti-racial or whatever, right? I do know that's who I am, and that is my opinion, and I express it. And fellow haters, that means this is not a place for you. And if I'm triggering you, there is a lesson. I'm not bothered. So being too much is the subject of being so deeply authentically tuned into who you are and dialing that up. And I'm dialing that up because that's how much more passionate and exciting your life is going to get. Yes, you will stir up some criticism. Yes, you will stir up some haters, but you know what else gonna happen when you embrace your too much? What else gonna happen is that you will develop and grow your tribe that is resonating with you and your message, and they will cheer you on because maybe they don't yet have it in them to shine that bright, but because you do, you shine so bright, they feel the inspiration to be like you and also shine in their own truth and authenticity of who they are. So being too much simply means being authentic to who you are. And yes, you will be too much for others. The conversation about too much also falls into a conversation about being not enough. Because if you are dimming your light, you're also minimizing your self-expression, you're minimizing your potential, you're minimizing the game you're playing, you're minimizing the level of happiness you have simply because you are afraid of judgment. You're playing the nice girl, which is so fake. She's so fake. She is so fake. I see right through that. I see right through that. Being not enough means you are trying to please so hard that you are deluding yourself and you are giving yourself out that there is not even a single piece left for you. You're deluding yourself so hard that you no longer recognize who's the woman in the mirror. You don't know who she is. because you played the game too well of being the good one, the honorable one. And because you are trying to make things happen, trying to make people like you, trying to for him to notice you, you are trying too damn hard that they see it and they use it and they don't care. And what you end up doing is being so nice for others that there is nothing left for you. And you are trying to validate yourself through others that there is nothing left for you, my love. Nothing left for you. And I hope that if you are at this stage where you are watering yourself down or pleasing others or trying too hard to be nice and liked, that you will have your own awakening. And if you are someone who has the story, but that story is in the past, you will dial your shine, your light, your brightness up to 100%. And you become the inspiration for your own tribe that you are creating, that you are leading, that you are inspiring, right? Being so damn colorful, so vivid, so passionate, so happy in your own life, in your own self expression, in your own business, in your own work, that nothing else matters. Let's talk about happy. So, I don't quite agree with the statement that I'm about to say, but I would not say it's not true all the way, right? One of my mentors said that there is a war on happy people because it hurts. We we learned to believe in our story how miserable we are and our victimhood and how difficult life is, that it hurt to see other people happy. How dare they? It makes us so uncomfortable because we are in dark space. So what we do, we hurt other people. How dare they be so happy when I am this miserable? And the truth is, you chose that story, you chose that narration, you chose that reflection, mirror. It's just a mirror, it's just a projection to who you are and how you vibrate and what story you choose to live out. It's nothing but your own perception of reality that you are living. And you are triggered by happy people. But bad people, they're just happy, right? Toxic positivity is simply a positivity, right? There is not a war on happy people because war implies intentional action, a game. But there is inner reaction and triggering of our shadows that is happening, that unconsciously we hurt others and we do it in mass because society in its majority has been led to believe that life is difficult and you have to suffer and that there is honor. But what if you choose to be so delusional and so happy and vibrate at a frequency that blows your own roof and then see that mirror reflection in your own life? Like bringing you excitement, people, synchronicities, manifesting money, business, clients, all of that is coming because you chose to be too much for others, but just right for yourself. In fact, you are working every single day on becoming more and more delusional. What if you chose that life? And what if you chose that tribe of women, surrounding yourself with the tribe of women who are delusional? who carry passports because maybe they'll jump on a plane this evening to fly to Europe. I know someone who at least considered. What if you're that delusional? What if your life is nothing but a chain of miracles? And what if you be so damn happy that you wouldn't even notice people suffering? Why would you? Why would they be suffering when they can have an option of living in a state of a complete bliss, right? And that implies money, that implies sexuality, that implies the flow state, that implies spirituality, that implies energy, that implies material wealth. Because in order to be fully happy in this human body, you must supply through material expression, right? Through the gifts and the things and the money. Because while yes, it does not buy you happiness because you decide to be happy. Happiness is a state, but from that state, you decide to buy things that match that frequency. Money is not bad. Money is a reflection of your value. Like if you are a bad person, yes, money, you will be bad person. It's amplifier. It shows everyone who you are. The way you treat money, money is like sexy relationship. You ever thought about personifying your money? Money is like sexy relationship, orgasmic relationship. And imagine if you were in this relationship with money and you turned around and you like, right? So that is what I'm about. I want to talk about sexy money and I want to talk about sexy being the sexy us, being the fully expressed versions of us and not being afraid to go into the areas that are taboo, not for us, but for other people, because that is what makes life fun. That is what makes life so juicy. That is what makes life so exciting. And I want to leave you with a couple of questions as a food for thought as you are joining me on this very first podcast episode where I've really shared my heart in relations to where I'm heading with this and what conversation I want to be having with you. I want to be having this conversation about can I express myself so damn bright, be so damn unique, so damn delusional, be the unicorn in the room. So your questions for the day. Where am I dimming myself? Where am I not allowing to be too much? And where am I not allowing myself to explore the taboo? Because from those questions, you will understand that you will hit the edge of your life, the edge of the capacity of how much light and happiness and excitement and adventure you can hold. When you start thinking beyond that edge, you expand your capacity to receive more from life, right? And it's about expanding that glass ceiling that we put upon ourselves. We, whether consciously or not consciously, we have put it upon ourselves. And that, my beautiful love goddess, queen that you are, I want for you to now embrace the possibility of being the new woman who is finally giving herself permission to have the money, giving herself permission to have the lover, giving herself permission to explore the taboo areas, whether in life, in sexuality, in money, whatever those areas are, and finally permission to be too much for others, because then you will shine bright for yourself. And that is the only secret. Hey, beautiful. If you found this subject about being too much resonating, I invite you to subscribe to my free Substack account that I started, and I have put together a blog exploring the subject of being too much, of being a good girl, and what does that actually mean. I will see you there.